Sound
Um,
check. My mic sounds nice. Check 1.
One.
My mic sounds nice. Check 2. My mic sounds nice. Check 3.
I wasn't expecting that. Well, this is a good start to the year. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Happy New Year. Happy 2025. And with that, we are now in the 80s of our campaigns, session 81 of our Seregen campaign. But don't let the 80s get to you. There's a lot of good times in them, and most of them were had with these fine folks. Let them introduce themselves.
Hello, I am an under-the-weather Banewall, but I play Belzian Gilkis, the half-elf monk. Hiya!
Hiya.
I am an over-the-weather Amidus. The weather does not bother me. I have conquered it. I play Roger Mays, the Wood Elf Assassin. Wood Elf Assassin? Yes, he would.
I am Shade. I am experiencing weather most of the time that I'm outside. And I play Ulrich Oakenhearth, the human/vampire paladin. And I rank in an 87 in those 80s. So I was only there for 3 years.
I am Atomic. Zippo can control weather, by the way. Not like, with the spell, but subtly enough, Really makes people look at him pretty cool. Anyway, off topic. And Zippo, I play Zippo, the Kobold Sorcerer. Wood Sorcerer Kobold, Dragon Time.
It's electric. Boogie, boogie, boogie. And I, of course, am the Wombat of DM. Being everyone that they're not. So welcome back. Hope you had a great holiday season. We are also back, and we also hopefully had a great holiday season. To catch you up on where we last left off, the party was amidst battling a grouping of demons that they had encountered and escaped from when they destroyed the portal coming into Licht some days ago. It seems like in that time the demons have been heading ever so swiftly in the direction of Licht. Maybe not quite so fast as they once might have with the portal. So the group has been locked in combat for most of last session. Of course, did a bit of things around town as well. We are about 1 day out, as you can see on the map, from when the army is arriving. So today, the goal of today is to finish up our stay in Licht, at least pre-army, and go from there. In the meantime, we are at Roger's point in the initiative. I did take a note because I knew we would be gone for a while. So I know that it is Roger's turn. I also know that just going to move things to the battlefield now. I believe this is the battlefield here. Yes. So currently we have some fewer demons that are present. There were 2 Lickitung-like demons with long tongues that could grapple. One of which is currently grappling with Yarvik on the ground. So Yarvik is grappled, restrained, and prone. One of the creatures, it looked like kind of like a creature with 2 heads and tentacle arms, was scared away by one of Ulrich's abilities. And the other one is flying about 30 feet above the group and has just emitted a breath weapon at the group, doing varying amounts of damage based off of who made the save versus not. There is one Lickitung creature that is down to Zippo's left as he's facing off against the group. And Shade's character Ulrich has also summoned a steed for the first time, which is currently moving independently of him. And that, I think, brings us up to speed. Any questions from the group?
I had forgot we were in combat entirely. I'm not like prone or anything, am I?
No. So I believe let's look at your roll. Yeah, so you made the save, so you were just dealt damage, I believe, 12 damage.
And this one isn't dead?
That is dead. It is dead. That's
Oh,
what
okay. Gotcha.
That's why.
So the only things
X'd
still
out.
alive on the map are this licky armor thing here and the big dude in the air.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay. Perfect.
And
us.
is there
All of us are
one
alive.
more demon who like exited stage right?
Yep.
Yep.
Running
That's the one that got scared away.
Okay.
Yeah, we scared him. Oh, I say we. Ulrich scared him off.
Hey, Ulrich is a pretty man, okay? Don't you insult him like that.
Oh, it's because I'm needy. You know, I put myself out there too much. And then they just aren't ready for that commitment. And you think, well, they got that big tongue. I got to really try. You know?
I love every bit of that. Yep.
But then you got the big heartache. So it's the way it goes. Holy shit, don't attack me.
I have no idea which of these we've dealt any damage to.
You've dealt both of them damage. Ulrich is currently at 33 health out of his 128. Jorvik is sitting at 99 out of 141. So,
and Roger's at 55.
yeah, everybody's been hit this combat. Some more than others, for sure. Ulrich has one more swift attack, and he could go down, but he might not too. It depends.
So do we want to focus on the big guy?
Tell them you're ready to go down, and then they run away. It's anyway.
So if I remember correctly, I had my Wings of Flying active for this combat.
Yep.
So I've got at least a couple of hours of flight here. At a blistering 60-foot movement speed.
I believe you have settled to the ground at the moment, though.
Yeah, I'm currently on. Well, I got yanked down.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Now it's all coming back to us.
Yeah. So we might be on disengage. We might be on used my rogue ability to bonus action disengage. That is the thing I can do, right? Yes. we might be on bonus action disengage, move 60 feet diagonally. Yeah. And then I guess start taking pot shots at the dude on the ground because he seems to be doing the most damage.
Okay.
All right. So bonus action, disengage with the rogue's cunning action. And then I'm going to move diagonally up for each of these moves. So 5 feet up and 5 feet over. 1, 2, 3, and then I'll spend the rest of my movement going up. Which should put me 60 feet up. I'm not sure where we're marking that.
I put it in your blue bubble when you click on your character.
All right.
I'm going to do the same thing for my fly guy. I did have like a little 30 next to him. You just need to click on him in order to see what his height is instead.
That does not actually work for us. I cannot click on his.
Okay, well then I will put that back.
Yeah, there's a way to do it, but don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And then I will shoot at the armored dude.
Okay.
And he's got an ally adjacent, so there should be sneak attack. Let's fire some arrow. I hit armor class 25.
25 hits.
All right. We get all of this damage plus some acid, which I don't remember if he was resistant to or not. 23 normal damage and 6 acid damage.
You do remember that he was immune to acid. The acid just kind of rolled off.
Okay.
So it's just 23
Just 23 then. Yep. And that was Roger's turn. I'm happy to control Yarvik this combat.
Okay.
If you want me to do that.
I would appreciate it.
I have to reacquaint myself with this character sheet.
Okay. It is Ulrich next.
Sorry, I was just discovering that apparently I have the ability to. No, I don't. Never mind. I had access to some stuff that I didn't used to have access to. So Ulrich is how high up again? Is 30 feet? You said for flyer?
30 feet. Yeah. Yeah. There's a number right next to it.
Oh, thank you. There it is. I would have disadvantage on a ranged thing though. So, well, I could do this. Yeah.
Bless you.
Excuse me. Yeah, I'm gonna. Is there an upcast value to this? We're gonna second level upcast this.
Okay.
Command.
Okay.
That's a wisdom save for our two guys, Flyer and Tungy. DC 17 wisdom save.
So command can be multiple targets.
If it's upcast, yeah.
Okay. So the upcast means that it's one per upcast.
Pretty much, yeah. When you do this as an upcast, you can affect one additional creature for each slot.
Yeah, for some reason when you clicked on it, you did the second level and it just has command. It doesn't have the description of it. So
yeah, I'm gonna put the. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna put that in the chat.
Okay.
There you go.
Gracias.
Now I will say, and maybe this is actually. This may not work, actually, because I wasn't thinking about the fact he's 30 feet up, but he's 10 feet away from that guy. So,
yeah, he'd be out of range.
Yeah, he'd be out of range. So, I will... I will take an attack of opportunity to make sure that I am in range of this guy.
Okay.
Actually, that movement doesn't provoke an attack of opportunity in 5th edition.
Well, this one, you're right. This one doesn't, but I think I might need to go directly under him because I would be 35 feet from here. Get what I mean?
Depends on how you measure it.
Well,
if you measure it, if you count up diagonals as the same as regular diagonals, it is the same.
Well, that's true.
Also, the range is 60 feet on command.
Oh, fuck. Right. Thank you.
They just need to be within 30 feet of each other, which they are.
Right. Yeah, that was the thing. I glanced at that at the end there. Thank you so much for keeping me honest.
Okay, so yeah, you're only going to be able to do one then because 30 feet of each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I will do it at a lower level. I'll reclaim that second and do a first.
Okay.
But DC 17 for Flyboy, please. Wisdom save.
All right.
What command you gonna do?
We'll see if he succeeds. I mean, I'll narrate it, but
I got a 2, buddy.
okay.
Oh boy!
I would love for him to grovel.
Grovel.
The target falls prone and ends its turn.
Okay.
It's prone in the sky.
Oh, I have an advantage on saving throws. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Yep.
He grovels the fuck out of this. So.
Okay.
All right.
Cool, I love that.
So, he kind of, his flapping kind of flags, and he kind of drifts down, and kind of as meek as you could kind of see a giant creature of the size, like, like it's still kind of intimidating, right? Like it's fucking crazy looking. But it kind of wordlessly bows in deference, looking with extreme hatred at the same time at the fact that it's doing this.
There are two things that I want to clarify. First, it's going to do this during its turn, so it doesn't get a turn.
So it's not doing it yet.
It's not currently on the ground.
Yeah.
The thing that I'm most keen about, though, is when it goes to the ground, it does fall prone.
Correct. Yeah, he'll go down to the ground.
It fell 30 feet.
So it's going to. So when. So is there. Let's see, grovel. The target falls prone and then ends its turn. So I'm interpreting falling prone as it drops to the ground, in terms of, like, if I'm standing, I go down to the ground to grovel, right? Sure. I don't think that it's outside of possibility that falling to the ground, it doesn't mean like falling as in I'm falling out of the sky. It's going to go down to the ground and go prone, but it's not going to take damage from it, if that makes sense. It's basically, as I said, it's going to basically falter and kind of drift down to the ground, kind of like it's flagging, right? Like all the air has come out of its sails. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
Nope, that makes sense. But it'll be prone, so after its turn,
correct,
and until the start of its next turn, it will be prone, meaning anyone making a melee attack has a great advantage on that shit.
Yeah.
It also won't get a turn period for that next one. As a bonus action, we're going to take a lovely swipe at Lick Boy.
Okay.
With our spiritual weapon. 26 to hit.
That's a hit.
Whew, I want to say I cast that at 3rd level. I'm just checking if I can find the log on that. Game log. Spiritual weapon damage 11. What was the roll on that? It was. Oh, really? Apparently I cast that. Really? Damn.
I see a 3rd level cast.
Why was I only rolling a single d8? Did I cast this earlier? Two hits. Spiritual weapon, 2 hit. Yeah. No, okay, yeah. 3rd level. There it is.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So 3rd level, that's 3d8, I believe, or actually, because it's spiritual weapon, it's 2d. Oh no. Okay. When you cast it using a 3rd level slot or higher, its damage increases by 1d8 for every 2 levels of second. That's why it's a single D8.
I see.
I fucking forgot that this spell is stupid like that.
Yeah.
That's fine. 11 force damage at Tongue Boy.
All right.
So that will horse, of course. Extras. Horse only has 4 hit points. And it has how much movement? 60.
Want to see 60? Yeah.
Yeah, it does. So, fortune favors the bold, so I'm gonna take that attack of opportunity.
Okay. Let's see if I
Let's
hit
see
you.
how that goes. Yep.
So its main attack is okay, I guess it's the claw.
Mm-hmm. The claw.
What's your AC?
It's an 11, man. It's
Okay.
nothing.
I hit with a 15, and I deal
There it goes.
24
can you
damage.
deal less than 4? Yeah, I was gonna say, can you deal less than 4? That horse is dead. So, all right, that's fine. It wouldn't have really done anything that mattered. Ending turn.
All right, sounds great. Okay, Yarvik. Yarvik is prone, restrained, and grappled at the moment.
So remind me, what do I need to do to get out of those 3 conditions?
Well, yeah, it'd probably be best to get out of the grapple so that you can actually move.
Remind me, what do I need to do to get out of those conditions in whatever order prescribed?
So, looking back, because you just recently got out of a grapple.
I want to say acrobatics? Question mark.
I think it's acrobatics or strength. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Shade. I believe it's acrobatics. While grappled, you can use your
special thing.
So yeah, while grappled, you can use your action to try to escape. Make a strength athletics or a dexterity acrobatics check, and I make an opposed check to try and hold on to you. If you're higher, then you escape. If my check is higher, then nothing happens and you're still grappled. I think that's the long and short of it. So you'll be taking an action to try and get out of the grapple.
All right. Let's see. Well, my acrobatics is +5 and my strength is +4. So I think we're rolling the +5 here. Yarvik has rolled a 15. Perfectly average.
I just realized I need to correct something. Could you roll a? I don't think. Can you roll a charisma check for Yarvik for me, please, if possible?
For some reason, it rolled it twice.
Yeah, that's fine.
The first one was a 21.
All right, which is exactly what you rolled prior to break. So that's fine. It's also what you yourself rolled as well. So cool. All right,
It's a good number.
Good to know. Acrobatics is 15. Okay. I will make an opposed. Yarvik breaks it.
Okay, and that was my action to stand.
Yes.
Or not to
break the
stand.
grapple. Yeah.
Cool. I am going to stand.
Okay.
Using my move, which I think consumes half my movement.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's already taken his reaction, right? He attacked the horse.
Correct.
In that case, I'm going to move the other half of my movement, which will be 2 squares. behind Ulrich.
Okay.
And that's Yarvik's turn.
Cool. Zippo.
Okay. Okay. So. Okay. Let's see. I'm just double checking something here. Okay. I'm going to cast a spell. Can let's see. Yeah. Okay. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, that was me. I will. Can I get an intelligence save, please, from the flying guy?
Sure. You're doing a whatchamacallit?
Yeah, psychic lance.
What's the DC?
17.
I rolled a 20.
Okay. Did he take the -10 because I'm Zippo or no?
I mean, I can roll my so I have advantage, so I could roll a second time if you'd like.
It's fine. It's fine. I never get to use it on anything smarter than me.
You do get to use it, you just don't succeed. That's
Yeah, that's true. It's going to take half, so it'd be 12. Do we round up or down?
you round down.
Okay, so 12 psychic damage.
Okay.
Let's see how many sorcery points I have. Okay, let's see here. I will use 2 more of my 4 sorcery points left to also quicken a firebolt
All right.
at him. 19 to hit.
19 hits.
He'll take 15 fire damage.
All right.
And that is all Zippo can do.
That fire damage seems to knock him winded as he starts drifting down. He isn't there yet because it's not his turn, but yeah, just some effect for you. That seems to have winded him quite a bit. All right, Lick a Tongue. With multiple people close by him. Okay. So, Ulrich, the first attack is going to be against.
If you're telling me it's against someone else, you don't need to let me know.
It's nice to know sometimes, though, you know?
All right, it's moving up into the middle of everyone.
Up in our business.
What was that?
All up in our business?
I believe the spiritual weapon gets an attack of opportunity, correct?
Well, no, I do have a question on how it got there. Sorry, I looked away for a second.
Yeah, that's fair. It would have to move out, wouldn't it? I'm too used to being a player and moving through things, so yeah, it'll stay. Yeah.
Okay.
We have our arms linked like Red Rover.
Okay. You know what? It doesn't need to move anyway. It's fine. All right. So it's gonna attack Ulrich, of course. Ulrich, it's gonna try biting you.
Okay.
What's your AC?
18.
I got a 19.
That'll do it.
34 damage.
Well,
That's
let's
one.
see if I
That's
had-
one more, right?
yeah, let's see if I had anything. Hold on.
No, our healer.
I had
Looks like your
something,
Rickles are healer.
and it would have been a smart thing for me to have just cast Shield of Faith on myself earlier, but I didn't do that. So, I mean, the good news is the weapon stays up. I just don't think it does anything because I don't get a bonus action on my turn. So it's going to be around, just floating around.
Yeah.
But I'm down.
Okay. Yeah. So you're down to 0. So do you make your first death save now, or is that
My turn.
your turn? Okay.
Yep. Here's a question. Okay, that's good.
Can you delay on your turn?
No.
Because Yarvik's got cure wounds.
Yeah, no, I can't do that.
'Cause I can pull you back to positive HP from 0 here, but
I'm not worried.
Just a little sleepy.
All right. It's going to make a lick attack at Belzian.
Hello.
Belzian,
I need dinner first.
what's your AC?
19.
Okay. Well, the good news is I did not succeed.
Lick yourself, fiend.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't do bite or tongue. I can only do one or the other. The claw is the extra. So I'm not going to re-roll that because it's the same plus. So it's just it swiped at you and missed. Yeah, that would be a little OP if it could bite and tongue. Jeesh. Okay. All right. It is going to move though. So, Belzin, if you would like to make an AOP, you can, as it moves
I would like that, yes.
to close with Zippo.
Whoa,
Hey.
guy.
Big guy. It's fine. You go back. There's more targets over there.
just shoot the small one next time. It's okay. 5e doesn't punish you for casting spells in melee.
All right. So, Bane, you rolled a 12.
Correct.
12 misses.
No.
But it is your turn.
Belzian's gonna saunter over and, get the job done. You may ask, how can he slap? Does an 18 or higher hit?
18 or higher. Let's see here. It does.
Yay! So how about 30 bludgeoning damage?
30 bludgeoning, and your hands are considered magical, correct?
For the purposes of overcoming resistances.
All right. You punch the Lickitung into oblivion. It is now a pulpy demonic flesh as it dies.
Yeah!
Hell yeah.
And yeah, that's all Belzian's going to do for now. Oh, wait. I will give a thumbs up to Zippo.
I will thumbs up him as well.
Hey.
All right. this demon flutters to the ground and goes prone. Falls prone.
It grovels to Ulrich's corpse.
Actually, so does the command still hold?
Yeah, it's for 1 round no matter what, even if he goes down.
Not a
Concentration.
concentration. Yeah.
Very nice. All right. So yeah, it doesn't really make any gestures to groveling. It just goes down to the ground. It almost looks like it's mimicking the position that Ulrich is in.
Imitation is the greatest form of flattery.
But it is prone.
No, I watched an anime that said that one time, so I believe it.
All right, Roger.
Yeah.
You got one target.
I have one target. Finally, the situation that I was built for, killing somebody lying on their back. But nobody's adjacent to it, so I don't get sneak attack. So I'm not actually going to do a whole lot of damage here.
Well, hold on. Well, no, you're using your bow. Never mind.
I would have to drop my bow and pull out
Yeah.
a worse melee weapon
Alright,
to stab it, and also fly down from my 60 feet up in the air. No,
Yeah.
we're gonna shoot this bad boy. Unless I can delay and wait for somebody to go stand next to it. I don't think 5e initiative works like that, though.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Shakes fist. Back in my day. Alright, I'll just draw my dice. I miss. That's a natural 1.
Okay. And you rolled with advantage?
At range, you do not get advantage for shooting prone
Right.
targets.
Oh, okay.
In fact, you might actually get a penalty depending on what edition
I
you're
believe
playing.
you do
That's
get.
true.
I think at 5th you do get disadvantage.
You do.
Good news,
Yeah.
I cannot roll worse than a 1, so I'm not going to roll another die.
That's fair.
Good
News, we rolled a 1.
And you know what, Roger? I should clarify. You could have technically taken the ready action with the trigger that you shoot your bow as soon as someone is next to him. That is technically a thing you could do.
But the problem is if somebody does not get next to him at all this round, then
then I don't get to
it's wasted.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
It doesn't matter. The roll I would have gotten either way would have
right.
missed.
Yeah.
I don't have anything useful to do with my action, or with my bonus action for that matter. So I don't think. Yeah, I can't hide in the air. So that'll be my turn. I'm happy with where I'm flying here.
Okay. That was not how I expected that combat to go. All right. Yarvik then.
Yarvik is gonna go cure wounds Ulrich, which hopefully he's already standing next to him.
Yes.
Yeah. For convenience's sake, I will move to block Ulrich's body with Yarvik's body.
Oh, sorry. One thing I should do is Ulrich. I mean, this is probably not needed, but Ulrich, could you do a death throw while this is happening? Just.
Oh, have I had my turn?
Yeah. So you're in between Roger and Yarvik. I just skipped you because you were
damn.
down.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Let's do a death saving throw.
it's not going to matter if he's
20.
curing you. But like.
Yeah. But
How much damage does this guy do with his attacks? Is it worth me burning a second level slot for this, or are you going to go down in one hit regardless? And I might as well just try and get you on your feet long enough for you to
I don't know.
cure yourself. I
don't
think these guys have been doing like 20 damage per hit, and I can't cure that much.
I feel like personally we
we just hey, I succeeded. I would just say let it be a normal
I have good
slot.
I have good news for you. I rolled the maximum possible. You heal 10.
Nice. I love it.
That's hands.
And you said you couldn't do 20. Or maybe you said over 20.
I said I cannot do 20, and I was correct. If I rolled max
Yeah,
on
I forgot.
2d8,
I forgot.
it would be 18.
Yeah. Stupid.
There's no plus caster level here.
Yeah.
And not much point in me casting an ensnaring strike because it does not actually give me an attack.
No, it just means that if you do make an attack, it does some added benefits. Yeah.
Yeah, it's better. All right, well, I don't have anything useful to do with Yarvik's bonus action, I don't think, unless he's got a potion of healing. And he's at almost 100 HP, so he probably doesn't need to do that. Yeah. All right, that'll be Yarvik's turn.
All right, Zippo.
Yeah. Zippo. And correct me if. Well, no, Zippo's still gonna do it either way because Zippo's Zippo. Can I get a con save from that creature?
What you casting?
Blight.
Did you say blight?
Yes.
Okay. What's the DC?
17 as well.
I fail.
Awesome. It's gonna take 45 necrotic damage.
Okay. Necrotic, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Much of the necrotic damage seems to be sucked into the demon's skin.
Ah, damn! I forgot about that. Fuck.
And it seems to get stronger for a moment. Let me read this, though.
Oh, boys, I'm sorry. I just threw.
Are you healing the demons?
Apparently. Apparently, boys.
So,
It's okay.
is there anything else for the description of blight? Because all I'm seeing is the damage at the moment.
Let's see.
Is blight just a damage spell, or is there some? I feel there's more to it than just damage.
It just draining moisture and vitality makes a con save. Has no effect on undead or constructs. If it's a plant creature or magical plant, it has disadvantage, and the spell does max damage. If it's a non-magical plant that isn't a creature, such as a tree, shrub, or something else, it just dies.
Got it. Okay, got it. Thank you. So yeah, for a moment, it seems to be kind of revitalized, and then all of a sudden, it kind of just puffs out of existence. It dusts, and the dust settles, and it is completely gone.
Maybe I didn't throw, guys.
Think of it like it begins kind of calcifying and then kind of crumbles apart.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boom.
Yeah, I think our reaction when the spell hits, we'd all be like, "Yeah!" And then it looks like it's healing it, and we'd be like, "Oh!" And then it turns to dust. We're like, "Yeah!"
Yeah. If Belzium's looking at like in between the creature and Zippo when he casts it, Zippo's definitely like, "Yeah!" with like a big throw, like big like thought process. Then it starts to look like it's healing. He's looking at Belzium like he's got like the puppy dog eyes, like, "I'm so sorry." And then it just dies. He's like, "Oh, never mind. I'm not sorry."
That's all the demons, right?
Except the feared one.
Oh,
Which wouldn't be feared anymore since Ulrich was downed, I don't think.
it ran
A
away.
permanent thing. Oh, it did just keep running? Okay.
If we wait long enough, will it come back?
So, I guess the question is, now that combat has settled, are you gonna go look for this other demon, or are you gonna kind of circle up and make sure the party's good? What's the plan?
I think we're circling up and checking on the party.
Okay, then I am ending combat.
So that was exciting. How's everyone doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I definitely want that demon's dust.
Roger and Yarvik are both down like 40 or 50 HP and would like to be healed. Ulrich is down almost his entire hit point total.
It was for a bit, but now it's by 10.
I'm down 66.
Yeah,
Zippo is down 14.
I could spare maybe 5, whatever that means to each of you.
Better off
And-
yourself
You
and
give
by each
everybody
of
a
you,
high
I
five.
mean Roger and Yarvik, who I think were the lowest, right?
Yarvik's at 99, Roger's at 55. I think you are
Alright.
at the lowest.
Well, right, aside from me, you can have
Belzian has 66 missing. You have 118 missing. Roger has 45 missing.
great. Belgian and Roger.
I'll be okay. It's quite all right.
All right, Roger, here's 10. And Ulrich will take 20. And that is the full of my healing hands.
Okay. So fun stuff. 45 damage to Roger, 118 to Ulrich, 42 to Yarvik, 14 to Zippo, and 66 to Belzian. So that was probably the most damage that we've had in a combat in a while. Potentially for some of us ever, right?
Yeah, Zippo don't normally get touched.
The demons had hands.
But we should definitely collect the dust and take these armored creatures back because one, it's kind of proof of what we were saying, you know, and two, they're pretty beefy. I mean, they might be able to do something with them since the guild leader's like a crafter. Might even pay us for them.
At the very least, we can get a record on the wall that we killed some shit.
Yeah.
Ask these motherfuckers if this counts as an adventure.
We went outside and touched grass, and look what happened.
Never again.
Overrated.
Overrated? I hardly know her rated.
Yeah, I think we could present these to the townsfolk so that maybe they could research them and have a heads up of what's perhaps is more to come. But I think a short rest of some sort is in order when we get back.
Yeah, we gotta find us some holy weapons, but a short rest for sure.
We have a holy
Ulrich
weapon,
was our
Zippo says as he smacks Ulrich.
Yep. I'm
He's full of holes, all right.
I ain't gonna lie to you
Right.
guys. I was gonna polymorph the flying one into a cat, and then we just stuff it into a bag of holding and deal with it later.
That seems
Transforming.
unwise.
Transforming something into a cat. I have seen that one before.
Yeah, it's a pretty good go-to. It's a pretty good go-to. Oh, guys, I've got the perfect idea. What we do is, whenever we go to fight the demons, right? We transform all of us, except for one of us, probably Belzian, since he's the fastest, into cats. And then Belzian runs in, throws all cat versions of us onto them, and then we unpolymorph, and boom, we're in the fight.
It's so crazy, it might just work.
Nope. Because they're either going to die of cuteness of the cats or they're going to die of cuteness of us murdering them.
Now, do we gain 9 lives each if we become cats?
That's a good
Yes, but
question.
you also have 2 hit points, so those lives go fast.
So
Well-
what if
Hit points don't matter except for the last one.
we combine a cat and a dragon so you got 9 lives but with a dragon's health and lifespan?
I don't think the world's ready for that.
I am. Zippo says as he's heading on the bear.
How much do these licky tongues weigh
Um,
when you attempt to poke or prod or pick them up?
sure. So, it's a good question. Oh,
How big were they? Like, I was thinking like they were car sized, but maybe they were more like
they're
coffee
they're
table.
medium. So, they're
Oh,
like they're more like large dogs, right?
Oh, they're not that big.
So the bear could probably pull one or two of them if we wanted.
I think we
Yeah, the
should
bear
have one.
the bear is bigger than both of them. However,
Yeah.
they are heavy as shit. The armor on them seems to be weighing them down substantially. Zippo, you don't seem to. You have no ability to budge. Even one of the arms that are laying loose. It's heavy.
Boys, I was gonna say I can polymorph the bear into one of the big creatures we saw in the forests of Relic, Relic. But I'm out of big spell slots. Oh,
Are they able to be rolled? Are they too heavy?
You could make a strength check to see what you can do.
I'm tired.
Yeah, that doesn't seem it's pretty heavy. You kind of with all of your strength, you kind of are able to move it a bit, and it kind of rocks back into place. Like as you're pushing on it, you feel that the armor that's on it, as it's pictured, is part of its body. It's actually like bone that's sticking out of it. So like it's armored, like like how your shoulder blade's like a big piece of bone that's protecting internally. It's got bones on the outside too, and it's in the shape of armor. It's unnaturally formed bone armor.
Oh, what a boner. Perhaps we'll just have to have someone make a sketch of it.
we could always just cut off its head and take it back as proof.
The head seems to be fairly attached to the rest of the body. It's got a thick neck about the size of the rest of the body. Evaluating cutting off, the only thing that seems cut offable is the tongue. Maybe at a joint you could cut off one of the legs.
Are they so heavy we can't carry them back to town as a group?
So far, it hasn't seemed like it's been carryable.
A shame. They would make great doorstops.
I mean, Ulrich's ludicrously strong. Surely he can.
Ulrich has not made a check yet.
Yeah. All right. No, I haven't. I was just kind of
Letting bygones.
thinking here.
So
I'll give you
what
a
if
hand.
Ulrich pushes and the bear pulls?
We rig up a system of pulleys and ropes.
Yep. So big Ulrich
Alright.
doesn't just, throw one over his shoulder like it ain't nothing.
Or I'm sorry. Would it be pure strength or athletics?
Athletics is fine.
It says 17.
You see why they're struggling. This thing has to weigh a ton. It's incredibly immovable. It's like trying to push a barrel of cement.
Yeah. I think. Oh, sorry. Actually, these are the tongue guys we're trying to move, right?
Yep.
Yep. So, I mean, that tongue is so fucking long. Just get as much tongue as you can get.
That's my dating philosophy.
That's right. Let's just, and Ulrich's gonna reach in and just like try and rip the whole tongue out and carry that behind.
Okay, just sticking your hand right in, pulling it, and trying to rip it out.
Yeah, I mean, he's got an axe. I mean, if he can get, like, how long is it if he pulls it out of the mouth? How much space, or how long does it stretch out to him?
So you're touching it with your bare hand, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I have gloves, but yes.
Okay. The tongue is barbed along the entire length of it, is why I'm asking.
Yep.
So what I'm going to do is, since you're wearing gloves, let's see if it pierces the gloves. I'm going to make a posthumous attack, basically, is the way I see it. Okay. Yeah, your glove protects you, and you're able to kind of stretch the tongue to its full length, which is 30 feet. It's a 30-foot long tongue that uncoils ridiculously long, as like you think surely it can't go any longer, and you keep going. Another 10 feet after 20 feet, you'd think it would stop. But you do recall that it did snatch Roger out of the air, so that starts tracking for you.
So, once it's stretched out, axe, tongue off, and then...
Okay, do you have somebody else hold the tongue so that it stays out, and then you go over and...
Oh, does it just immediately, like, roll back up into the mouth?
It's kind of like a tape measure. It starts retracting back in. It seems like there's muscles that help it to...
Yeah.
And in its rigor mortis, it's kind of tense, so it keeps kind of trying to go back in. You do feel some resistance.
Hold it steady. We'll cut it off for you.
Yep. I got it.
I'm not trying to make it hard. It's just how I imagine
No.
working.
Yeah, no. That's absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Does Yarvik have any weapons? He's got a short sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, short sword should be fine enough for this. Yarvik will hack the tongue off with his short sword.
Sure.
Or steal Ulrich's axe and do it.
All right.
I actually forgot I don't have an axe anymore. It's a mace.
It's a mace, yeah.
So
it would have helped, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, you can bludgeon something so much that it breaks off. It just won't be pretty.
Yep.
Exactly the term I'd use, yeah.
Source, have used the blunt edge of a fork to cut steak before. It was not pretty.
Just eat the whole steak in one bite of that go.
Just bite off the fork, our hair.
That would have been easier than what I did.
Yes, that's what we're saying. That's the whole point of it. Anyway, all right. So, Yarvik, I don't think he needs to make an attack, but he does need to make damage. So roll damage.
Yarvik, short sword damage. I'm going to push the button and see whether this rolls the thing. 12.
Yeah, and that definitely hits too. 12 is a bit greater than the amount that I wanted it to be for cutting off the tongue. So you make it and cut off the tongue. The tongue immediately begins you hear a ching sound inside of the mouth as like the remnants of the tongue space kind of snap back into it, and you hear like a fleshy slap. And the tongue does seem to have kind of a rigidity to it, so the end of it begins to curl, not the full length of the tongue back toward Ulrich. Don't worry, it's not like a tape measure in that way. But when you let go, it also kind of curls a bit too. So it's like something that's been wrapped up in a circle for too long. It has a natural tendency to want to spiral again. It's gonna get tangled before then, but yeah.
And you said the wing guy was like dust now, right?
Correct.
Yeah, Zippo's gonna collect some of the dust.
Yeah, it's a whitish, reddish substance. It's calcified demon, basically.
That's definitely got to be a good spice to add to something.
It has an horrid smell.
True. So do pickles, but people love those. So
I don't.
Hold on.
I don't either. I hate them.
There are different kinds of pickles. Some are better than others. And they smell different.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, Zippo will definitely just open his regular bag and throw some of it in there.
Just in your normal bag of holding, or not normal, but the bag of boarding, or
No, just like he's got like a regular pouch essentially.
okay,
He's just throwing some in there.
okay.
You can't have this place stinking up my home.
All right. Anything else?
Do you want to get the other 10 guys or no?
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, is there a reason to do that?
Whips.
Yeah. All right. I'll risk it for that. Ulrich this time is gonna maybe try and take a more tactful method. Actually, yeah, no, he's gonna try and take a more tactful method to get the damn tongue out this time. Trying to take extra precautions. Maybe prying open the mouth and spearing the tongue with one of his bolts and using that as kind of like a thing to pull with.
All right. Through teamwork and similar methods, the group manages to also take out the other tongue. You now have two, and I'll name the creature for you, Canoloth tongues.
Okay.
Canoloth. Canoloth.
Well, that's certainly a mouthful.
Were this 3rd edition Arrow D&D, Canoloth would tell us quite a lot about who these demons are and where they come from. Just the Loth suffix alone. But I'm not sure if the same world building holds for this setting.
Yeah, I'm not sure if anyone in our party is a demonologist. It's kind of like they're the demon from the demon place, and we don't like them.
Vaguely hell, or the abyss, really, but lower planes in general, depending on which kind of demon we're talking about.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yugo Loths.
yeah, they're right. They're part of the. It's not really the abyss, though. Is the only thing I wanted to kind of like. It's not really the abyss because it's the neutral evil.
Well, it depends.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it does. It absolutely depends.
Giant asterisk, and again, not even this edition.
Yeah.
But
Gray Waste of Hades, I think, is the stereotypical place, but there's so many lower planes in the Great Wheel.
there are, yeah.
And 5e's not even Great Wheel. It's Great Tree.
No, 5e's Great Wheel.
Doesn't have the same connectivity that it used to.
God, we are way off topic, but but it's more or less the same connectivity.
Plane of Shadow.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's absolutely
I know.
on topic.
Feywild.
It's just not something that in character any of you know about. Yes.
So the Feywild, right? Sorry, but the Feywild and the Feywild and am I remembering wrong? Because they would just be mere.
Third edition straight up didn't have the Feywild. That was not a place.
Right. Yeah. Sorry. So they did change that. But they're just mirror planes in 5th edition. So it's not like super wild. Like the outer plane versus inner plane is largely the same. They've just specified more stuff.
Have they?
I mean, by specified stuff, more stuff, I mean like adding in the Feywild.
have they written in additional things and not decided which things they're keeping and which things they aren't keeping?
I don't think
or they actually written it all out again.
Because it's still the same 16 planes that will go back all the way to like 2E planes.
It's the same 16 planes. Yeah.
Yeah.
17 shakes fist.
Okay, 16 outer plane.
Mm-hmm.
The Outlands is also an outer plane.
Yes, you're right.
And
you're right.
It is number 17.
You're right. You're right.
So,
but that's oh man,
it's connected to all of them. It's
yes,
right.
I know. Look, I'm a fucking huge Planescape fan. I'm just simplifying things.
If we get into Planescape lore, you will beat me. But in remembering things that I memorized when I was
you're right.
About 3rd edition, I have this.
you're right. You're right.
So
in any event, all I was going to say is Gehenna. It's all I was going to say.
Yeah,
Or the Grey Waste, yeah.
Well, Gehenna's the sideways one, right? Where everything's fucking at 45 degrees to the ground.
Yeah, that's correct.
And you can also refer to the Renovar handbook, too, to know what little you know of the Outer Planes.
Yes. Thank you.
So,
getting us back on task.
For example, Gehenna would be a plane of greed with terrain tempting the adventurer to travel a little further, the prize just out of reach. And then I heard the Grey Wastes, correct?
Yeah, Grey Wastes.
Good thoughts, guys.
So the Grey Wastes are not listed as a lower realm.
Yeah.
Say the setting may have very different ideas about which things count as demons and where they're from.
Yep.
All out of character, but Zippo's getting like a sixth sense. He's gonna look at his orb. After he picks up the things, he gets back on the bear and pretty much is like, "Hey, somebody lead the bear," and then he pulls his orb out and looks into his orb.
And these kids always pondering their orbs.
I haven't pondered it for a little bit, I gotta.
Yeah. So, what you would know of the Grey Wastes out of character you've never heard of the term the Grey Wastes, but you have heard of Hades, so they're one and the same. So, Zippo, you go into your orb. And you kind of look about anything in particular you're looking for, or just kind of your normal.
Zippo is pretty remembering today, and he remembers seeing what he thought was people. So he's definitely going to be looking for people / space dragons, because he's still 100% sure there's space dragons out there, and they can hear him through the orb.
So you look through the orb. You're looking specifically for those humanoid creatures that were in some sort of craft, kind of traveling throughout the different asteroids, and you don't seem to see any. yeah, the asteroids have all kind of more recently started drifting apart more and more. It's actually thinned out quite a bit. Um, you didn't notice it as you were checking in every day, but now that it's been a bit of time since your last check-in, you notice that the asteroids are all much farther apart than when you were first looking through the orb, where they were all kind of tightly knit together and clunking against each other. Um, and you do recall at one point that there was kind of a stream of debris kind of heading toward the planet itself, right?
Yeah.
You don't see that stream of debris anymore.
Okay. Yeah, Zippo in Draconic while in the orb would be saying, "Space dragons, I'm here!" pretty loud, so the party would definitely hear him.
Yes.
And then in the thought of the orb or the asteroids moving apart, the only thing I can think Zippo would think is, "Man, they must be scared of me."
All right. While Zippo yells into the universe, what is the rest of the group doing? I guess aside from collecting tongue.
I assume this is happening while we are slicing the tongues up.
Okay. And that was a group effort, right? Belzian, you were involved in that?
Oh, for sure.
Okay, all right.
Roger was supervising.
All right, so you have obtained 2 tongues. What are we storing these tongues in, if anything? They also release kind of an acrid smell and leak a pussy yellow substance. It doesn't seem to bleed like you would expect. Instead, it's kind of a pus. The liquid that touches the ground kind of wilts some of the grass it touches. It seems to be at least slightly corrosive.
Gross. So what does everyone want to do? Are we gonna post these trophies up at the Adventurers Guild and then go back to what we were doing before the incident?
We should definitely go tell them about it, and also let them know about the them and the leader to know about the one that got away.
Yeah, we should probably let the guards know there is a demon at large.
Yeah.
Is it a small demon at large?
It's a medium.
No, the demon that got away is a large demon.
We have a large demon that's small.
We have a large demon in a small vicinity, medium difficulty at least.
If he's that big and the weather's okay, they could probably spot it at a distance.
Do you look on the horizon for it?
Yeah, do we see him?
You are in a
running away?
plane.
Yes, we discussed that, the material plane.
Yes. Anybody want to do a perception check?
Let's all
Sure.
look for the spot the demon. Like, where's Waldo? But there's only one thing on the page.
I'll make Yarvik roll also. Maybe I'll make Yarvik roll. There we go.
Excellent. It's because Yarvik's not very tall.
Yarvik is too busy talking to his bow and arrows and asking them if they're okay. They did a good job. Pats them on the head and isn't really looking around. Roger and Bane, you look out along the horizon in the direction that the creature left and do not see anything. It's not there. Roger, you recall that combat started with these creatures invisible, so potentially it's back in that form right now.
Well, there's not much we can do about that. It's too big of a place to try and track it. It could be anywhere by now. I mean, obviously the fan gets bigger the longer we wait, but like we've been here for 5 or 10 minutes. This thing is gone.
That's
If
fair.
it wanted to fight us without its buddies, it would have already attacked us.
That's true. It's probably got pretty demoralized now. Its 2 tanks got taken down, and what I assume was the smart one of the group
Did I lose
got
connection?
disintegrated.
You're
hello?
back. If you did. I didn't see you lose connection. Now you did. He's gone now.
I'm traveling?
No.
Did I lose connection then disconnect?
Yeah, that is what happened.
Yeah, that was the weirdest order ever.
Not in that order, but yes.
Roger, did you state what you're putting the tongues in?
I'm not carrying the tongues at all. Ulrich's the ones with the gauntlets.
Well, I mean, I saw you write it down in your notes, so I assume that you were taking them.
Oh, I needed to. It conveys a lot of information.
I see.
And I'm very lazily not taking notes in Notepad like I usually do.
Okay, fair enough. Well, since we're waiting for Shade to return, I think we usually take a break around now anyway. I know we started late, but let's give him time to regroup. So let's take our 10-minute break, and we'll be back to continue the session right after these messages from no sponsors whatsoever. All right, we are back from the break. All parties accompanied for. Wow, all parties accounted for, and we are currently discussing how we're transporting these tongues that we just excised. Jade?
Yeah, so I am going to, I think just drag him behind, but Ulrich will use. I'm trying to look up for a safe way to do this. I think ultimately Ulrich's going to use like he's got the fucking javelin. He's gonna fucking stick the javelin through both of them and just kind of like carry the javelin, drag them with the javelin.
Okay.
I mean, do they coil up naturally?
Just a bit, like a couple loops before they stop on both sides.
Gotcha. We broke the tendon. They'll never make a real coil now.
Oh, when you said javelin, I thought of people who like, the back in the olden days when they used to roll those hoops down the street and you poke them with a stick to keep them going.
Yeah.
Yeah, but your idea works a lot better.
And then later, when he can, he'll do that rope exercise with them.
Ow, ow, ow,
We'll
ow,
do-
ow, ow.
We'll do jump ropes, yes.
Acid spraying everywhere.
Not for indoor use.
All right. So this was toward the beginning of the day when we did this. I believe somebody spotted the demons while everybody else was doing their thing, and then as a group we kind of called to arms using the rings and all descended upon them. Roger, you were the farthest away, but you had the flying ability, so you were able to get there as quick as the rest. I believe Zippo, you were doing your own thing at Adventure's Rest. Roger, you were building road. Belzian, I think you were with Yarvik in town, and Ulrich, you were by yourself as well.
Yeah, I think I actually was the one that found the demons because I was traveling outside looking for elementals with the bear.
Yes, yeah,
Greenfield.
that's correct. All right, so there's a few things that I know members of the party want to accomplish in the prior to the army arriving. Roger, I know you had some things to do with the flames. You have a road to finish. You did notice that there was a grouping of watercraft that seemed to be in port in Wanderlust, like in more number as you flew across the town. You didn't take much note of it, but it is something is worth mentioning now. Are we all returning as a group? I know there was mention of telling people about the demons, or at least repurposing the tongues for something else, donating things to the guild. There's a few ideas in the works, so I'll let you tell me what you want to do.
Methinks we were gonna drop by the Adventurers Guild to show off the tongues and be like, "What an adventure!" Unless we had someone else to show them to. Question mark?
Zubo was just gonna show them to everybody, let them know, hey, these are the demons. Part of the demons.
We killed a couple. These are the remains we were able to salvage.
Oh, and we haven't healed yet, so we look all beat up and tough.
Yeah, let's go to the Adventurers Guild, which is much more likely to have healing.
Yeah, a short rest at least is probably in order.
Indeed.
You guys are beat up.
Do you want to do this the old-fashioned way of walking, or do you want to try out your orbs?
I'm going to fly.
Okay.
I've only got like an hour or two left on this thing. So, actually, I don't know how much time I have on this. God, I rolled that so long ago.
One way to find out.
I'm definitely going to walk because I gotta ride the bear back while also getting Brunhild. I don't
They were
remember if
not
I put her in the bag or not.
Extraordinarily far out of town.
Oh, that's right. I flew out because I put Brunhild in the bag. That's right. Never mind. Brunhild in the bag. She's good. I am gonna ride the bear.
You
back,
also
though.
brought your bear out. You're riding the bear, you said?
Yeah, I think it's got a. I think it lasts till the end of the day or until it dies. So we're definitely gonna use a lot of it if I can.
I'm looking back, Roger, to see if I can find when you rolled.
It would be a D12 in theory. I don't see it just scrolling up, but
Yeah, you'll have to go to the archive. I see patient defense. I'm looking for the initiative roll because it would have been before that. Spirit shroud. Okay, we're getting close. Roger. Where is the Roger? Roger rolled initiative 17. Charisma save of 20. Okay, so we're here. I don't see a roll.
1d12. I'm just searching for 1d12.
Insight 33. Perception 23. Insight 23. So many 23s. Religion 14.
The 23s are all from the rogue expertise. Reliable talent.
Yeah.
Anytime I roll lower than a 10, I get a 10 on my my proficient skills.
Well, it doesn't really matter. What's the max that you get for it?
Oh, I'd have to look at it. Hold up. Wings of Flying. They just straight up last for 1 hour.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
You can't, when they disappear, you can't use them again for a d12 hours. So I probably haven't rolled it yet.
Got it. Yeah, once they disappear. I would say they would probably disappear sometime about the time that you get to the Adventurous Rest, or at least while you're there. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll roll that d12 now.
Well, could have been worse.
Technically. All right. So no more flying until tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. So that being said, the group makes their way to Adventurer's Rest in various forms of travel, where it be by bear, by wing, or by foot. Adventurer's Rest is still kind of not. I guess the term would be up at arms, right? The group warned everyone in the area that there were demons up north, and people got into defensive mode. Things seem pretty tense as you return. People recognize that you were the ones that went north to attack the demons, and there's some hopeful looks and some excited points and things like that.
One of them ran off. We killed the rest.
Some cheers are let out, and you're ushered back into Adventurer's Rest to get healed, and people begin asking about what happened, what can you tell them, things like that. And it's not like a captive audience type thing. It's like they're trying to gather information to see what's the one that got away, what are we looking at here, whatever they can learn. You can all heal the full. Obviously, Adventurer's Rest has got you. So,
like a long restful or just heal the full?
heal the full. It's not a rest.
Okay. Okay.
So I guess we'll tell them what we know. The tongue things. I don't think we have the name, but
Nope.
the Canoths are tanky. They take a lot of hits to go down. We show them just how long the tongues are.
They're like the worst dog you've ever met.
And they're immune to acid. The big thing that was flying had some kind of like fear, confusion, or demoralizing breath.
It was I think it was immune and healed off lightning damage.
Yeah. The one that got away was kind of big and stupid. I don't think it got to do much.
They do appear to disappear.
You recall, just because it's been a month, you recall that the big creature had two heads, and its heads kind of screamed in unison to create a howl that confused some of you at one point.
Yeah. We will relay that to them as well.
And Zippo will show them the dust of the flying one.
Okay.
It seems like they can turn invisible, or perhaps they have some demon that we didn't encounter assisting them, or maybe one that we did and slew assisting them that can turn invisible. Not particularly hopeful news, but maybe useful to invest in the ability to see the unseen.
One person states that there was an adventurer that once figured out a useful way of seeing the unseen without having to use the see invisibility spell. It's a guy at the bar. He's got a axe over his shoulder, and he's drinking with the other arm as he's kind of got the not the axe, a hammer. Sorry, a big hammer, a battle hammer. And he says, "Yeah, my buddy. Whenever he needed to see somebody who was invisible, he'd turn invisible himself, and he'd be able to see him."
Interesting.
Wait, does that work? Intriguing.
I seem to remember that being a thing that came up at the very start of the campaign when we got our invisibility potions.
Yes, the
for
Goblin King.
yeah.
Yeah, you could see each other when you were invisible as invisible creatures because you were basically in whatever realm you're stepping into when you're invisible. You occupy the same realm space, right? It's like a parallel realm, like the ethereal plane is.
Mm.
In fact, when you cast the See Invisibility spell, your eyes go invisible.
That's certainly spooky.
All right, so the guild takes in all this information. There are a few people that volunteer to go out looking for the demon with the two heads that got away, kind of like scouting missions. They're told by Gideon not to engage, but to find, so to locate, just because they don't want any members dying needlessly. So the instructions are to scout and use the orbs to get back immediately if spotted.
Would we offer the tongues as some kind of trophy to the guild, or we're gonna try to see if anything can be made from them?
Up to you.
Belzian has no plans.
Yeah, Ulrich, I mean, we'll be like, I don't know, you all want to do something with this?
Are you saying this to the party or to the guild?
I think to the guild. I don't know that we have. I dragged him for a while here, so hoping that you might like. I don't know. Don't feel obligated, but if you want to decorate your home or study him, or I don't know, just seemed right to bring him back to you.
Yeah, Gideon kind of eyes them and sees that they're kind of caked with all kinds of stuff that got picked up on the barbs as you drug them, the distance. He goes into Wolfgang's office and comes out with some familiar looking gloves. There's some gloves that were hanging in his office. Obviously, Wolfgang didn't use those too much, being a troll. But he uses the gloves to pick up the one tongue at a time and kind of coils it and brings it back into the office and then does the same with the other one. This does take some time, so if you have other things, you don't need to watch it. But it seems like Gideon has some sort of purpose.
Yeah, once all that's settled, Zippo would get back on his bear and then just kind of start wandering around town. Since he's only got like 3-4 spell slots left, he's not really interested in going out and back into a fight, but he will wander around town.
Sure. All right, so Zippo's off to explore again. What is the rest of the party doing?
We still got daytime hours left, right? Daylight hours.
Oh yeah, plenty.
Belzian and Jorvik were doing some martial instruction.
Yeah, you were training members of the town, correct?
Yes, teaching the people that the best way to win a fight is to not enter the fight at all.
Okay, so you're teaching defensive stuff and escape plan and things like that.
How to run effectively.
Yeah.
Buy time for other people.
How to barricade, shelter in place stuff, right?
Yeah, give them some false hope, perhaps.
Okay. Yarvik will return to that task with you. Could you just whatever role you think would be appropriate for this? I just want to get kind of a number on it just to see how well this is going for you. Roll with advantage. You've been working with them most of the day.
Because it would be tough. Would it be a charisma type thing because you're teaching somebody else, or would it be more athletics or acrobatics because you're demonstrating things? That's a tough call.
Well, it's a good thing that I tasked you with making it.
I will go with athletics. It is a martial skill. And advantage, you said?
Mhm.
29.
All right.
Weird. I rolled a 20 and a 1.
That is funny. But it would have been a 20 without the advantage, so that 1 is just using up that 1 for now. At least if you're a philosophy major. So ultimately, you seem to have an effect, and the N-word, as it does, tends to spread. Some people come to train with you, others pass on what they've learned to others. But yeah, it seems at least some of the town seem to be preparing for worst case scenario.
Huzzah!
Ulrich.
I don't think Ulrich has anything really specific at this point. Because it's their army's arriving tomorrow. I think he did the feeding or the goal was to do the feeding so that he would be most human when the army arrived. So did we complete that?
Not yet.
Okay, so all right, army is arriving tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow evening, more than likely.
I guess he'll go be a serial killer. He's got to figure out a way to do this thoughtfully and safely.
Are you gonna wait? Are you gonna wait till night, or sorry, Amelia got up on her hind legs because that's what she does to look at things. She doesn't just look around. She gets she tries to get the extra height and look. It's really cute.
Meerkat mode.
Yeah, meerkat mode. Are you gonna wait for night, or are you doing this during the day?
Oh, I'm definitely not going to kill someone during the day, but he does need to kind of start making plans. So I think he will. Because he needs to drain someone entirely again, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. And actually, well, no, that's all good.
What's up?
He is. Trying to think of how to achieve this in a somewhat safe fashion. I think he's going to go to Dara, his cousin, or whatever.
Lord Dara.
Yeah, Lord Dara. Whatever parentage it might be, first cousin or cousin first removed or whatever. Grand cousin. He'll go to Dara, and he will ask if there have been any troublemakers he can help out with. I mean, I think he'll talk with Dara about the demon situation. Dara deserves to know.
Okay.
Then he will also say something along the lines of, "Now, cousin, are there, with these threats in mind, are there any troublemakers, around that have been vexing your
your rule, vexing your people in the last, fortnight that you haven't already apprehended.
All right, so you head back to Dara's Keep. You are admitted with deference. People welcome you, Lord Ulrich, back to the manor. And Dara seems to be poring over the map on the table that you witnessed the first time you visited. Of the area around Licht, as well as it itself. On the map, you can see that there is fresh markings of Rogers Road, and you know it's Rogers Road because it's the same shape. You've seen Rogers Road at work. You can see that it's fairly accurate to it, and there's a big old circle placed on the area where Rogers Road meets the river. There are figurines of ships in Wanderlust, and I think it's important to say this map is not like magically created. This is all handcrafted. In fact, the wood carvings of the boats seem pretty well defined, and not like accurate to what the boats are, but because they all match each other. But they seem to be fairly freshly made. So Dara has definitely kept his craftsmen at work to create these small replicas for his map of the area. That being said, he welcomes you. Cousin Ulrich, thank you for coming back. Tell me. No, I don't. That's not his voice, but I'll get it. He listens to what you tell him about the. I said thank you very much, almost like an Elvis impersonation, unfortunately. He listens intently about the demons that you fought off, and thanks you for slaying the threat to his town. He's a little perturbed that there's one left that's out there.
Yeah, well, and that brings up my point here, and I don't want to be heartless, brother. Or cousin, sorry. But here's the thing. If I had a suitable bait of a kind, I do wonder if I might not be able to catch that demon. No guarantees, of course. But I'm kind of the way that it fought. It seemed like a carnivorous kind of thing. Its tongue, it clearly wants to consume. And I'm just thinking, if there's anyone who has been vexing you, anyone who has been an enemy to the crown, anyone who has committed heinous crimes in the area that you haven't yet apprehended, or maybe someone you have apprehended that you planned on executing, well, I could probably make better use of them.
He pauses seriously, and he smirks and he says, I might have just the person for you.
All right. What'd they do?
They're a spy. I caught them yesterday.
Okay, a spy from where?
I presume from the Flames of Jane.
Oh, that's interesting.
I caught them in my walls.
Your walls.
Yes. And he points to one of the walls, and he kind of just motions at any of the walls in his room, in this chamber.
Now, obviously, I don't right condone that they're spying on you, but is that is that the kind of thing that you execute people for?
You said you wanted bait.
I do. I'm just wondering a little bit now, cousin, about what warrants execution and what doesn't here in your city.
I would say that I am surprised, cousin.
Surprised about my unwillingness to kill him? No, that
No, rather that you question my rule of my kingdom. Not my kingdom. He says of my city.
Well, yes, he doesn't say kingdom at any point, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. He says, no, I do apologize. It is your city, and I do not mean at all to question your rule, more your tactics. In my experience, the work that I've done for the crown, a spy's a useful idiot. You know, you catch him, you get information from them. Have you gotten information from them?
No.
Well, maybe I can do that and still carry out justice. How's that sound for you?
That seems fair. As long as you're not letting him go.
Nothing like that could possibly happen. I'm going to be the utmost careful. Now, my plan here, because the army is going to be arriving in the evening tomorrow, I will likely need to, and the demon's going to get further and further away. I would like to borrow a horse if I could. Normally I can summon one, but it has been a tiring day, brother, or cousin. I'm going to just keep saying brother. Cousin, and I do not think that I have the wherewithal to muster a steed.
Well, allow me to help you catch up with the day. You did say mustard a steed, right?
That's right.
All right. I can provide a steed for you, of course.
I appreciate it, cousin. Do you have the spy's name?
I don't. He refuses to speak.
Well, we'll see what I can get him to say. Ulrich's gonna just essentially take this guy and take the horse, and is about to dig a grave for himself. So
Okay.
we'll figure that out.
Okay. In the meantime, Roger, what are you up to?
I think once our wounds are healed and we've exchanged as much knowledge as we can, Roger would return to work.
Okay.
Somebody out in the fields is likely to be advance warning of demons coming in, and I'm already have a pretty tight schedule to get this road done before the army gets here.
Sure. Yeah, I believe tomorrow you'll be finished before the army arrives, so it'll be like just in time.
Yeah,
I think we worked that out. Fair enough. Yeah, you are you planning on since tomorrow that army is arriving? Are you planning tonight to be meeting to signaling the flames? I think we talked about that last time. I know you were kind of debating what you were going to say to them, but I think we kind of
Roger will talk to them. Is planning to talk to them the night before we leave.
that
I
would
don't know
okay.
if the army is planning on just walking through here, if they're going to stay. So if they're just walking through here, we can catch up to an army.
Yeah.
If they're not just walking through here, then I don't want to tip our hand of what I know to the flames ahead of time.
Sure.
And not knowing that Ulrich is going to maybe go execute one of them. Roger wouldn't be rushing to tell them that before Ulrich spills some blood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
in
Ulrich,
one manner or another.
I will say, depending on the timing of your stuff, because I was cognizant of the fact you had not yet talked about your stuff. When Ulrich gathers this guy and is a certain distance, he will be reaching out to you.
Okay.
Oh goody! It will be me pissing off the local lord and you getting blamed for it instead of the other way around.
All right. Well, we can kind of play that to time then. So you get your horse as Roger has been. I think Ulrich with the exchange. It didn't take too much time, but I would say it was about an hour. Roger, I assume you probably stayed at the Adventurers Rest a little bit longer than Ulrich did. So I would say you're probably heading down the path near Adventurers Rest when Ulrich kind of messages you in the ring.
Ulrich will, he'll message in the ring, but he does ultimately want to talk with this spy as well.
Yeah.
But hey, buddy, how you doing?
So would you message him before or after you've talked to the spy then?
He'll if he's at a like if he doesn't get the sense that he is being watched by, spied on himself, then he'll look around to see if anyone's looking. But he will what's the word I want?
I can go into a little bit more detail if you need some formation time.
Sure. I was just really thinking like he'll talk with the guy and just be like, can you tell me a little bit? Like I kind of am sympathetic here with you, and I'm putting my neck on the line. So
yeah, sure. So you are after you met with Lord Dara, you're led down to the dungeons where you see that there are about half the cells are filled with people. There's 12 cells in total, so 6 people are imprisoned in the Lord's prison under the manor, or under the keep, I should say. One such is a gentleman that doesn't seem to have any kind of remarkable things of note. He is undressed, disarmed. He does have a tattoo on his back. It seems to be that of an eye, but the tattoo has been marred heavily and scarred, as if someone slashed across the tattoo multiple times. You can still tell it's an eye, but you can't tell if the eye was once open or closed. It's that heavily scarred. This is not not fresh within the most recent day or two. These do seem to be newer scars, potentially in the last month or maybe a couple weeks. They've healed naturally, obviously, because they're scarred.
Okay.
He's actually in a stockade within the cell. It seems like he hasn't even been allowed to have his hands free. He drops to the ground, and they cuff him, and there's a chain attached to the cuffs, which they hand to you. And the guy says, "Good luck getting anything out of this one," and leads you out if you're ready.
Yep. I take him. I get on a horse. Maybe put him.
Yeah, they give you a horse at the gate. It's ready for you. Simple barding, nothing ornate. The
Sure.
horse is fine. Yeah.
Okay. Get him on the back of it as well, maybe.
Okay. Since he's cuffed on his arms, do you want to have him climb up, or is he being draped across?
I'll drape him across for the show of it.
Okay.
And ride out, get outside of the city gate, looking at probably about where we are on the map. Like try and like veer off, or like where our minis are rather, but like try and like veer off this way and make sure that no one is following me.
Okay.
Before I start to have a conversation with this guy.
All right. Give me a perception check.
Sure.
And are you going outside the city, like going out through Adventure's Rest Gate?
I would say so, yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's just a 13.
Yeah, so, I mean, you head out through the gate, not wanting to talk to him while you're in the city, where it's easier to be observed without knowing that you're observed. And once you get out to the open air, that's when you start kind of looking around. Even with a 13, you're fairly certain nobody's listening to you out here in the field. I fight for my meals. So you begin to address him directly.
I'm gonna be talking to Roger here telepathically. You grok telepathic? I'm sure you do. Because you're in a situation. I'm also in a bit of a situation, and I'm really kind of digging my grave here. And it's going to be really a couple of graves that I'm digging. It's just my choice of which one I'm going to land in. So, I'm not gonna force you for information, but if it would be nice to know your name before the next few things happen.
He just says simply, "I am Null."
Null, alright. How'd you get caught, Null? That's kind of not what you're supposed to do in your capacity.
He just shakes his head.
No. Family name?
Have you stopped at this point? Are you like watching him, or are you still kind of riding forward?
Ulrich is slowed to a walking pace, and he is, at this point, I think, trying to talk. Now, here's a thing that I want to clarify, and why I didn't just immediately set on this name. We've got our side chat going on here, obviously, but so I don't know that I, Shade, understand the difference here, because like you've said that Noel, and assuming that I'm hearing the spelling correctly here, that Noel is Orcus's name in Abyssal, if I recall correctly.
Yes.
And Zippo hears the name Noel when he says it, but we hear Orcus.
I think it's the other way around.
It's the other way around.
Yes.
So
The other way around.
yeah,
Okay.
Orcus is the name that is commonly used to describe him.
Yeah.
That's to kind of characterize what in the monster manual, right? Not the monster, but in D&D lore, he's referred to as Orcus. In this setting, his name is Null, and that's the way it works. Yeah.
None of us. I guess that the thing I want to clarify is like no one would ever refer to him in this world in our game as Orcus.
Correct.
Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna completely purge that name from my mind.
Yeah, Orcus is
when we're playing
is Atomic's name for Null, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he having this happen, he's gonna now try and like keep an eye on him, but also just very calmly chat him up while also going, "Hey everyone, so I've done something. I thought I was digging a couple of graves for myself. I'm digging a third one. I don't know what the hell's going on right here, but I have absconded with a flame of Jane from my cousin's prison, who has now identified himself by the name Noel, and just is not giving me the most friendly of vibes, as I have him draped over the back of my horse. Now, originally, I'm going to be honest, because I think you're all... actually, apologies, point of order. I told everyone I'm a vampire? Yeah, no, they all know. What am I saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's part of the agreement.
Yeah. I had a second.
Yeah.
A lot of D&D games in my life, guys.
Mhm.
I'm not a vampire in any of them except this, but I never know. Anyway, I may have asked my cousin essentially for a prisoner that he wanted to get rid of, so that I could be nice and on point for tomorrow. Turned out he had a flame of Jane, so then I was like, well, shit, I gotta rescue that guy. So I was gonna just kind of maybe send him on his way, possibly. But now it's just kind of evolving. Just meet me where the fuck we found the demons, where we fought them, because I'm heading that way slowly. But I'm already kind of in the fields at this point, so I'm in the ring.
Near the demon corpses sounds dangerous.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that as I brought him this way. I was trying to get somewhere safe I could talk to him. Didn't expect him to fucking say his name was Noel. I'm gonna kind of try and go a different direction, but I also just need to get him the fuck away from this city if there's any chance that this is somehow fucking Noel. So I guess I'm gonna head maybe back towards the road leading out of Adventurer's Rest and head eastward.
Well, that's certainly exciting. What's your time frame on this?
Well, I thought I'd take my time in a fashion as to meet you guys. How quickly do you think you can meet me outside of Adventurer's Rest? And outside of the ring, he's like, family name? Yeah, no? Any answers to that?
Yeah. Me and Red Bun the bear can be out there in a minute, and Zippo
1
will
minute
turn the
with
bear
it.
around.
Oh, we'll race you, Zippo. It's on.
That's fair. That's fair.
I think Yarvik's going to be the only one that's going to have a hard time getting to you quickly. Roger being second most if he hadn't most recently left Adventurer's Rest. So I would say Yarvik stays in town while the rest of you could make it there.
I say
Jarvik,
Roger.
I could easily carry you just like last time, but it seems like you should stay here this time.
Roger would be.
I gotta field the troops.
Bilzian gives Yarvik a fist bump and steps like the wind.
And sorry, Roger, what were you saying?
I'd say I should be the furthest unless this all happened in an order that is different than my imagining.
You should be the furthest, yes.
Yeah, and I believe the second slowest in the party.
Aside from Yarvik.
Somehow.
Zippo too. Zippo is slow too, but he's got that like wing ability that allows him to go a little bit further when he needs to.
I've already used my wings for the next 11 hours, so
yeah,
I'm going to be strictly on foot getting there. So I'll get there when I get there.
So you're kind of trying to do small talk with this guy, right? Family name. He just kind of if you look at him when you ask him about the family name, a smile just kind of spreads across his face, and he shrugs.
Great. And your interesting facial features. Any comments on that? Which is the rudest I think anyone's ever said this.
Just out of character, interesting facial features.
Oh, sorry, he doesn't have that tattoo, does he? He's just been beaten to shit.
He has a tattoo on his back of an eye.
His back. I apologize.
Yeah. The word might have dropped, microphones and such. So,
I don't know why I was like it. It was like I had it in like on his forehead in my mind.
Got it.
That interesting tattoo you have. Any comments on that?
I once was lost, but now I'm found, he says reverently.
Oh. Glory be. I love that. How? Why? Do you know my friend Roger?
I know all of you.
Yep. That makes sense.
Wallbreaker.
Yep. That also makes sense. Any chance I'm gonna get to be king, or?
Are you asking me? He doesn't say anything. He just shrugs.
Okay, I was gonna say, boy, if I get to just confuse him, I'm gonna be asking the most confusing questions I can.
Yeah.
So I guess let's just kind of cut to the chase. Why were you letting them beat you?
He just shrugs again.
Yeah. Could you have just walked out of there if you wanted to?
Didn't he?
I like that, didn't I?
Yeah, so... Alright, well, now I guess we're just going to get into some real philosophical questions here. Precognizant? Omniscient? How far does that power stretch?
He doesn't seem to hear the question.
Let's think here. What? I mean, pray tell, what is it that I can do for you?
He pauses and says, "But you've already done so much."
Well, that may be. But in my experience, sometimes people tell me what they want, and I can be a little more effective to that rather than simply stumbling my way into it.
You can't give me what I want.
All right. So who can?
He shrugs.
Okay. That's more than a little bit annoying. I mean, are you shrugging because you don't know, or shrugging because you don't want to say?
He shrugs.
And this form that you're in, how pliable is it? Do you get to feel pain in it, or is it just well, you know what? That's a really good point. I guess I didn't think about that. Ulrich, how far away is he from visible people at this point?
You've been walking your horse. You can still see structures. You're still in sight of the wall, but you're not within ear distance for sure.
Yeah. Ulrich's going to stop the horse.
And by the wall, for accuracy's sake, I mean, Licht's wall.
Well, I'm sorry, what wall?
The wall that's around Licht. I decided I need to be a little bit more specific regarding the setting.
Right. So, would I be here-ish?
Sure. Yeah, that works.
Okay. Ulrich's gonna say, I suppose I'm gonna test out your omniscience, precognitions, whatever one this is, and see whether you see this coming. And he's gonna stop the horse. He's gonna hop off the horse. He's gonna take the guy off the horse, throw him down into the ground, and exsanguinate him. Fuck it.
Okay. So you're gonna suck him dry?
That's right.
Okay.
Throw him down to the ground and suck him dry. I already went down once today. Why not again?
Fair enough. All right.
I'm sorry, everyone.
So, yeah, the man, you grab him, you take him off the horse, forcibly throw him to the ground. He does seem to have the wind knocked out of him from the impact of you throwing him on the ground. I'd like you to make a grapple check.
Yeah. Oh man, I have not been rolling that great today. 16.
Yeah, that's good enough. You grapple him you have him in an embrace. His breathing grows more rapid, and his eyes have tinges of fear for the first time.
Great. As soon as I see that, I will stop.
Okay.
Like, as soon as I see that, and Ulrich will go, now see, that is interesting. Possessed? What's going on?
He just looks back at you, kind of waiting.
Criminy. All right, well. Hey everyone, I'm just gonna kind of post up here and in the field. I'm gonna stay near because I don't know really what's going on with this guy. He's either extraordinarily stupid or a person who's possessed and in between states of consciousness here.
Okay, I'm still on the way.
So you still need our help?
Oh, I mean, I think we got to figure something out about this. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have one solution for many things. I will slap him for you.
What solutions do I have? I don't know. I think maybe Ulrich will tell everyone he's got it for now, but just kind of like let them know his situation so that they're aware.
I'm definitely still coming. I don't trust that.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's valid.
I was waiting for that, Roger.
Ulrich does have a potential fix for this, but unfortunately he doesn't have the magic for it right now. So,
Zone of Truth.
maybe, but I was thinking remove curse.
Oh, okay.
The more important spell that he famously forgot that one time.
Daylight is actually the one that I forgot.
Remove curse probably also would have done it.
I don't think I had that one at that time. I think that's a little more recent.
R.I.P. Toe. We went too soon.
Yeah, I think he got removed curse because of Toe.
Toe's article on the Seregen wiki would be a stub.
Oh no.
I already gave you inspiration last time. I can't give it to you again.
We should start a Seregen wiki. That sounds like a great plan.
Yeah, dibs on that it. I already do so much.
Belzian's still coming to help. Offline sidebar here, we determined that he runs approximately 11.5 miles per hour. I don't know how long it takes to get there. In metric units, that's like 69 kilometers an hour.
Red Bun has got this, I believe. He's definitely on the way.
Nice.
All right, so Ulrich waits until those who are coming arrive. Well, it says he's got this, and then some people still show up, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So why were you scared?
I would say you probably have about 5 minutes before some of the party starts to arrive. By the way, Ulrich.
Completely valid. Yeah.
Yeah, he again is unresponsive. Well, non-responsive, I should say.
Hmm. You know, actually, in the 5 minutes that he has, not necessarily knowing, assuming Roger will still come, not knowing if Roger told him he was still coming, Ulrich will just simply say, "You know, I'm gonna level with you. I don't fucking care if you're null or if you're some null possessing someone or if you have a consciousness or not. I have made a hell of a lot of deals over the past few months, couple months. Time is kind of meaningless at this point. Feels like years since everything went down. And I've done it all in the interest of trying to maintain the peace, trying to leverage power, trying to protect this kingdom, Seregen. And I would make just about any deal to ensure this kingdom's prosperity, safety, and future. Now, if you happen to be Noel listening in on this, well, maybe you'll see that as an invitation to consider that maybe Seregen's a little more useful to you in its current state than whatever the fuck it is you're looking to do to it. If you happen to be whatever the name of this Flame of Jane might be, maybe you'll recognize that I am a man who truly cares about this kingdom. Or, if you're neither of those things, maybe you'll recognize that I could have eaten you a second ago. And you showed a little bit of humanity. But I'll get hungry again later. So, you know. And hopefully around that time, his friends are arriving.
All right. Let's say the rest of the party that is coming arrives. I assume that's Roger. Who else is arriving? Zippo, you said you're not coming anymore? Or are you
No,
coming?
I am.
You are, okay. All right, so
We all showed up.
everyone but Yarvik. Yarvik's like, oh, okay, sausage it is. All right, so the scene is set. Roger, Belzian, Zippo, you all see basically like Ulrich's hand holding down this handcuffed man on the ground by his neck, adjacent to a horse that's kind of grazing nearby. And you see Ulrich kind of talking tersely and quietly at the figure. The figure appears to be listening, but at the point that you arrive, isn't responding.
If I hear them kind of coming up, and I don't think Roger should ever know this, because it would just break his heart, but we all say really rude things about him behind his back. Oh, Roger! Good to see you, friend.
It's okay. We say rude things to your face, Ulrich.
Yeah, I know. The difference is one of us is deserving of it.
Correct.
So that's why I feel bad for you.
Oh,
Well, I'm sure I'll get my my just desserts eventually.
So,
Who's the body?
well, cousin Dara said it was a spy from the Flames of Jane that he found in his walls. He has a funny tattoo on his back, and said he was Null. Called me a wall breaker. Acted all fishy. I mean, it's clearly. I have to assume it's someone that Null can look through.
Can I see the tattoo?
I ain't stopping you.
Turn him over.
Oh yeah, sorry. Guess I was kind of stopping you. He turns him over.
I'm not stopping you, holding him down on his back.
Yeah, you haven't been to the ground. Do I recognize that tattoo?
You know that eye tattoos tend to be representative of a specific god, namely KYU, god of silence and secrets. Many of the Flames of Jane tend to worship Q specifically for obvious reasons.
Well, the tattoos essentially looks like it's tried to been scratched off, right?
Yes.
Hmm.
Do they not have laser removal in this world?
No, they've removed all of the lasers very efficiently. And scratched off, is that something that looks like it happened recently or maybe a long time ago?
Not within the last couple days, but more recent than a year ago. So like maybe a month or two.
Okay.
And it's healed naturally. There's no magical healing on it. Yeah, that's why it's all scarred the way it is.
Ulrich, how long has this man been a captive? Did you find out?
Now, Doris.
Dara seemed to imply that it was recently, within the last day or so.
Right.
Interesting. Do I recognize this person? Was this somebody that I saw when I made?
You do not recognize this person, which
No,
is
that
even
doesn't mean a
more
whole lot.
curious. Based on you saw two other Janes flames with you, neither of which is him.
Roger's used to seeing people he doesn't recognize.
Fair. Okay.
It maybe would be more unusual if it was someone I recognized, but if it's not not the leader of this chapter, they are one or are pretending to be one. That is interesting. Well, it's not someone I recognize.
Well,
Dara's expecting you to kill him?
well, I was pretty much feeding Dara some fun about using him as bait to try and find the demon. Now, originally, I was kind of hoping for more of a random prisoner with maybe more of a questionable moral character.
How much more questionable can you get than the Demon Lord?
Well, of course, I hear you, but keep in mind that this has been a bit of a, we really need to find a word for this. The kind of thing where you go up and then down and then up and then down. That's happened a couple of times today. What was Zippo killing that demon, but it looked like it was healing him, and then it was back. Oh no, it's dead. And then this again, where
It's like the coastline of Seregen. It just rolls in and out.
that's a
think we
good way to
should,
put it.
definitely probably call that
Like
an
a
upsy
coaster?
downy oopsie oopsie.
Like a coaster roller or something.
Uppy downy oopsie oopsies, yeah.
Yeah, I like Zippo's name for it. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, Roger. So here's the thing. As you know, it was that again because it was like, okay, hey, he's falling for my little thing, and I'm gonna get some tasty food. And I use that term very loosely, gentlemen. I want you to know that. And then it was like, oh no, it's a flame of Jane. Fuck, I'm gonna have to free this guy because I don't really want to kill a flame of Jane. And then he fucking starts talking about being Noel. So it's all over with this. Oh, then I said, fuck it. I'm gonna eat this guy. If he's claiming to be Noel and he's being all shifty, I'm gonna eat him. And the little fucker looks scared. So
It's certainly peculiar. If he claims to know you and knows who we are, what benefit would he gain from claiming to be our enemy?
right, and this is the thing, but he just keeps shrugging at me. So I don't know. Maybe I just don't have the wherewithal to. I used to think I'm a pretty decent interrogator, but honestly, I'm starting to wonder if I just wasn't fucking lucky all the time.
Maybe he's not shrugging, but perhaps he has a nervous tic where his shoulders just do that.
Well, I didn't check him for ticks or lice, but it could be that, yeah.
Hmm. It's hard to interrogate somebody who doesn't have any information that we need and isn't willing to divulge what they do have.
Right. So, I mean, do y'all want to see me eat him?
Might as well. We're already here. Zippo says this, but he's definitely ridden the bear next to the horse to pet the horse.
Hmm.
So he's like petting on the bear and the horse at the same time while like watching this happen. And then he goes, might as well. And then he also says, I mean, if you need, I can't do very strong spells, but I mean, I could probably shock him to death if you're more interested in that.
No. I mean, we could try the plan of fishing out that demon, using him for that. But if it's Noel, I feel like that's maybe a bad idea.
Yeah, you might be able to power up the demon or something.
Right, exactly.
There's a long list of bad ideas that got us to this place.
Well, hey, I tried to talk you out of a lot of them.
Have you tried the ultimate torture? Tickling.
So I thought about it just as a joke, and then I was like, well, that just kind of gets into some weird places. Because I don't want to send the wrong message. I already had my heart broke once, you know.
I mean that lovely man in the Bronze Clan offered all sorts of things to you.
Yeah, he invited me in for dinner. And I just couldn't do it.
Maybe if you were thinking ahead, you could have had that guy for dinner.
Well, gosh, what coulda, shoulda. So, I mean, while he kind of like casually talks about eating this guy, is the guy reacting to any of that?
He just is kind of listening.
So the other thing here, and I mean, this is ultimately the other thing. Tomorrow, after a nice little bit of rest, I mean, I could put him through a litany of spells, essentially.
Same. I
Maybe.
could disintegrate him.
Well, I meant more helpful spells rather than destructive spells.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah. Like
It's okay, Zippo.
I got an idea.
I think your spells are helpful.
What if I keep putting him in and out of haste so he keeps getting super tired, then really excited, then super tired again?
Well, I don't think we need to put him on an oopsie upsie daisy device. But or whatever the fuck it was Roger was trying to call it, a coaster roll thing. But I like where your head's at. I was thinking more like zone truth, remove curse, you know, those kinds of things.
Oh, gotcha. not shock his brain a bunch and make him, not able to think very well with psychic lance.
No, yeah, no,
God,
not
okay.
quite that. Not quite that.
Not explode his eyeballs. Okay.
No.
Maybe just one.
Yeah,
I would
well,
really enjoy doing just one if possible.
well, hey, yeah, let's. We got a lot of time on our hands.
Throwing him
I
into
know
a
y'all.
cloud of daggers.
No, I don't think that's not quite the vibe that I'm going for. I mostly am just trying to think about whether I can keep an eye on this guy until tomorrow morning, safely, and if that's a good idea. And Roger, not to knock you two gentlemen, but Roger, this honestly is something I think I need to consult with you on, because if he is a flame of Jane, which, he appears to be, but, or at least the shell of one, I really don't want to piss them off. I also don't really want to piss my cousin off. And I also really, really don't want Noel to come out here swinging.
Well,
Well,
you
I guess
might
that's fair.
find yourself choosing between some of those things.
Well, yes, of course, but I'm asking you, because I make a lot of choices that you then so kindly point out maybe were bad choices. So I'm asking you for a change. What do you think is the good choice?
If we are going to accidentally summon Orcus here, can we do it like next to Marius so at least he gets stomped on first?
That would be the waiting for tomorrow option.
Yeah, I guess in a roundabout way that is, yeah.
From a strategic point of view, having the army here, when we perhaps bring the demon lord in danger of popping out of this man's blood vessels or whatever is actually happening, would be very convenient. As the army could then fight him with us.
Does he respond to anything whenever Zippo says Orcus instead of Null, or no?
No, but whoever's talking, his head turns to listen to them. So it's not like he's remaining motionless. He's actively engaged in the conversation, at least physically.
Gotcha. Zippo will also bring up the wall breaker thing and be like, so he said you called you a wall breaker. That's kind of a lie, because you didn't even walk into the wall.
I mean,
I don't think his information's really right,
I was there for it.
Yeah, I guess. But, I mean, if that's the case, then does that mean I'm technically also part vampire? Because I was there when the contract was made.
No. There's a difference there. I think it's more like
Assigning the group a title rather than
yeah.
That's fair, I guess.
And like you remember that old band, that 4-man band, the Buggos, really
they were very
popular with, very popular folks. And there was that one guy, Necklaceau. I mean, he just did drums, but he was still there. And honestly, he's a really good drummer.
Oh, I think all the songs that he wrote were the best.
Oh, that's an interesting choice.
I know he wasn't the best drummer in the Buggos, but
That's right. That was Peter Great.
Fair enough. Zippo is like nodding his head along, like, okay.
was before
The
your
point
time,
is,
kid.
yeah, all of them were Buggos. All of them were Buggos. That's the point.
so we're all cyberpunks, but are we all wall breakers?
Apparently,
I think so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Are we?
We're more than
And
just wall.
Roger will ask the maybe possessed man. Are we?
Yeah, no. What do you think?
Um, So the question on the table, are we, is in reference to, are we all wall breakers?
Yes.
He smiles, looks at Ulrich, and
I'm not
shrugs.
quite sure how to help you with that.
Alexa, stop.
Alexa, play Despacito.
Now, hey, y'all,
Yeah.
y'all get a read on him as I here in just a second, because like he's clearly trying to mock me here with the shrugging.
I
But
think
then
you
you do so.
you hit him at least.
Well, no, I'm not gonna hit him or harm him or anything like that. As soon as he says that, he immediately has like fangs near neck, like kind of like a jump scare kind of thing, like trying to scare the hiccups out of someone. Like, oh, I would never, ha, boom. Um, just to see if the guy fucking flinches again.
Yeah, he does. He kind of goes like that, as if expecting pain.
Hey, what the fuck is that?
That seems like a pretty normal response.
Well, it is, but here the rest of the time he's acting all shifty and smug.
Yeah, just like you.
Oh, hey now.
Are you by chance a nobleman? Disgraced son of some noble from the extremities of Jane?
Now, disgraced is really not a fair description.
You would be disgraced if your family knew just
Well,
what you are.
well, hey,
And
hey.
you might be disgraced even shorter depending on what you decide to do with this prisoner.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to consult with people, which I think should fucking make you feel a little good about it. You don't need to be, I can pick a lane here. I can be smug and dumb, or I can be, useful and contemplative.
Now you're just trying to be dumb and contemplative.
Roger, I'm a man with enormous amounts of self-control. So when I tell you that I could be dumber, I promise you that I can. So I'm begging you. What do you want to do with this fucker? Do you want to release him under the idea that this is one of yours, or do you want us to kill him, or do you want us to all of you? Tell me what to do here.
Maybe
I gotta.
we can used as like a messenger or something. Maybe we could ask him with something so he feels useful.
Does Dara expect you to kill him?
Dara expects me to kill him at this point.
We need Dara on our side, absolutely, for this army to be free to march into Relic and oppose
Great.
the demons. Kill him.
Great. Great. Would you all keep an eye out, make sure no one's gonna fucking watch this or see this, and I'll do what has to be done, and then we blame it on a demon.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
What if this guy doesn't want that? Like, shouldn't we ask for some kind of consent first?
I mean, considering he's kind of our prisoner, I don't really think he's got much of a option here. We kind of need certain things to be done, and his death accomplishes at least two of those things. So,
if he was willing to answer anything with anything other than a shrug, maybe we could get some information out of him. But there's nothing to be had here. We'll get two of the things we wanted, and not compromise our actual goals.
Yeah. But just in case, there's a consenting aspect here, Belzian, Noel, if you do not consent to me exsanguinating you, Please say that in a full sentence to me.
I do not consent.
All right, now train him anyway.
Yeah, well,
It wasn't a full
Hey,
sentence.
all right. That's a full sentence. No, that's progress, guys. That's progress. Do you
but
understand?
He didn't say he didn't say Ulrich, I do not consent to you exsanguinating me in a full sentence.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna just take any win I can here. Do you understand negotiation?
He nods he looks at you like, are you dumb, basically, and nods.
Yeah, with that look, he'll say, "I say to you again, I could be dumber. So I am begging you to fucking get on my level and work with me. Are you willing to negotiate and cooperate in exchange for not being exsanguinated?"
Usually negotiations have a desire. Your desire is to kill me, and that's your negotiation.
Oh! No! My desire was to fucking free you until you started revealing that you're a goddamn demon. So now my desire is to know what the hells it is that you want. So, like, I want information at this point. And you've shrugged at me a lot, which is fine. Like, that's a fine thing for you to do. But I brought my friends here because I could be dumber. And I could make a really dumb decision right now. And I could fucking eat you quickly. Or I could be patient and I can learn something from you. And as I said, I have gone through extreme lengths, my friend, made so many bargains to preserve this fucking kingdom. So, you know what I want. Help me get to it. Who are you? What does it mean when you say you are Null?
Just like your cousin. Never asking the interesting or worthwhile questions.
Well, then what is the interesting and worthwhile question?
And he kind of presses on while you're kind of trying to interrupt him, and he says,
Yeah.
"You ask who I am. I am Null."
Okay. Why are you Null?
And we're gonna end session with that question. I think it's a good ending spot. So we'll pick up next time, continuing that line of questioning. We were waffling back and forth. I let it continue until there was kind of a decision made one way or the other. We're still kind of waffling, so I figured I'd find the good end spot.
Yeah, no, I mean, I straight up will let this guy live as much as I can get information from him.
Right. You'll straight up let him die as much of information you can get from him. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I say Roger was prepared to kill him a while ago.
Yes, same.
He got caught. He wasn't a very good spy.
What's the move here? You kill him and then you shrug.
we could free him, which would be good for the spies, but like that would endanger our position and the negotiations we've already done on behalf of the kingdom. So he needs to die. Shouldn't have gotten caught. If he's even an actual member of the Flames of Jane, who shouldn't be revealing who they are to random people.
Yeah, all very fair points.
Um,
All right. So that being said, folks, we are going to be doing a session. Excuse me, next week, I believe. So that'll be our regularly scheduled session since this was a makeup from last week. I unfortunately had a work trip that suddenly came upon me. Actually, so did Ulrich for that matter. So ultimately, we will see you all in a week's time where we will continue unraveling this frustrating mystery. See you then, and thanks a lot for watching.
GG.
GG.
Murder.